because let's face it, it's more fun that way.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. And presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Remember to pause before you play.
Here's Scotty Vegas and Dave Biddle.
Hey, it is here. This has been a fun 24 hours. I got to tell you, watching spring game yesterday, that was a blast. I'm so glad we got it in despite the questionable weather leading into the day. I love the fact that we had this huge trade with the Bengals last night, and I can't wait to hear your opinion on that trade as a huge Bengals fan, Dave. And Ohio State hoops making moves in the transfer portal. A lot of good stuff going on. But I don't want to bury the lead because obviously yesterday we had the spring game, and Dave, I just absolutely chuckled because the very first drive of the game, the very first touchdown of the spring game is, of course, on Julian Sayin, scrambling out, running, showing that speed on the sidelines, and scoring a touchdown to start out the scoring in the spring game. I know you were there. I want your first initial impressions on what you saw yesterday.
Yeah, when you said don't bury the lead, I thought you were going to go straight to Dexter Lawrence. We'll get to that later, since we are here in Columbus, Ohio, and not Cincinnati, Ohio. But yeah, it was good to see that. You can tell they've put somewhat of an emphasis on there. Now, is Julian Sayin going to run the ball 10 times a game? No. Should he? No. But I've been screaming from the mountaintops for several months. He's got to at least pick up one or two cheap first downs, and it doesn't even always have to be a first down. Even if let's say it's first down, he's rolling out. He easily can get 5 yards and get out of bounds instead of throwing it away. All of his guys are covered. You know, maybe he doesn't want to take a chance for an interception. Get those 5 yards. 2nd and 5 is a heck of a lot better than 2nd and 10. And too many times last year, it was clear he could have just stepped up and gotten a first down and slid or gotten out of bounds. So I think if they do that just a little bit more, that's what I'm talking. And maybe even one or two like called quarterback runs, because if last year, if they would have done like a play fake, the defensive ends would have just crashed on the running back. They're like, there's no way Sayin's going to keep the ball. He could have just walked in for a touchdown many times last year. So you can tell there's a little more emphasis on it. Arthur Smith definitely wants them to run the ball a little more with the quarterbacks. And again, he's not going to major in it. I'm pretty bullish on Julian Sayin this year, man. I know the way the season ended was really bad. I put that more on the offensive line than him, but he did look a little rattled those last two games, a lot rattled. But now with 14 starts under his belt, Scott, Heisman finalist. If you gave me $100 and said you can pick anybody to win the Heisman this year, I would take Sayin. Oh. Now, I'm not predicting that he's going to win it, although I think, in my opinion, he should be the favorite. He's not. Arch Manning's up there, Dante Moore's up there, some other guys are up there. I think C.J. Carr, all very good players. Any of them could win it. I think Sayin's going to win. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to win it. He's the one that I would put in the driver's seat.
Well, you're talking about value, right? I mean, you're looking at it and you're seeing, 12, 14 to 1 out there. And yeah, I totally get what you're saying as far as that goes. And the weapons across the board. So yesterday was the first time most Buckeye fans had the opportunity to see Chris Henry Jr. in uniform. And I got to tell you, so there were a few things heading into the spring game that I was excited about. Generally, I'll be honest with you, spring game is something that I watch 15, 20 minutes of, and then, all right, it's off and whatever, well, on to other things on a Saturday afternoon. However, yesterday, I caught myself watching a lot more of the game than I usually would because of Chris Henry Jr., Tavian St. Clair, and the fact that Ohio State has 51 new Buckeyes this year. There's so many guys that are brand new that you're like, oh, yeah, I want to check him out. Oh, yeah, I want to see what he's able to do and what this defensive line is going to do. And, oh, by the way, we got a new kicker. I want to see him as well. So yesterday was more of a spring game that I was interested in than the usual spring games.
It was by far the most unique spring game that I've ever covered, and I'm not breaking news there for a variety of reasons. Also there was always the specter of, okay, are they going to be able to get like half of a quarter in? Oh, they got all the way down to the first quarter. Okay, maybe they can get it to half, and it ended up. The rain kind of cooperated, comparatively speaking. We were hearing we had to move our tailgate show from like the location of FanFest.
We gambled on that and we lost that bet.
Well, did we?
Yeah.
made my day a lot easier than having to deal with the, all of the traffic and everything down there. Just coming to the studio was a lot easier. But yeah, when you have 51 new guys, half the team is new. It's crazy. Usually there's like 20 new guys, and that's like a big deal, right? And all the guys switching numbers. Coaching staff too, with all the changes on the coaching staff with Arthur Smith and Cortez Hankton and Robbie Disher, and I mean I'm really glad for the fans that they were able to get more than like a quarter in. Even if they got a half in, I thought that'd be good. Compared to we were hearing, oh man, there could be lightning in the first quarter. And if there's lightning,
then it's done.
That pretty much because that'd be a half hour, and
people aren't staying.
People aren't staying, and they could have then resumed play. Now, if they only would have played for 5 minutes and then it would have had some lightning, they would have resumed play. But if they had played for like 30 minutes or something, then there's lightning, they probably just would have canceled at that point. But yeah, I mean, there were several takeaways. I think, the freshman receivers are as advertised. Chris Henry Jr., as you mentioned, I know he had the one drop, and that's the one that's going to stick with him. Brian Day even brought that up, but he looks as advertised. And the good thing about Chris Henry Jr. is it's not pressure on him to come in and even be the number 2 wide receiver. I mean, I think Brandon Ennis is clearly going to be the number 2 wide receiver as a senior. He's going to be a 2-time captain. 2 years ago, he had Jeremiah, Emeka, and Carnell ahead of him. Last year, he had Jeremiah and Carnell ahead of him. And really, Max Clare was the slot receiver. So I think Brandon Ennis is going to have a big year. And there's a really good battle for that number 3 job. When Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham transferred to Notre Dame, I was thinking, I bet this wide receiver room's still going to be really good, obviously with Jeremiah Smith. But depth might be an issue. They're really deep. The 3 freshman wide receivers with Chris Henry Jr., Jaquaden Guilford was another one that was ranked really high, and then Brock Boyd. One of the great mysteries in life, Scott, was he was ranked as the number 100 wide receiver in the country and like the number 700 overall player. When you look at his stats, and it's not just, you can look at high school stats and it can be like, okay, well, what was the competition like? Here's what the competition was like. The highest level of football in Texas at an absolute powerhouse program in Texas. Dad's a coach. He just didn't like going to camps is one of the main reasons he was ranked so low. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, because it was fun watching Chris Henry Jr. do his thing. Jeremiah was out there a little bit. Brock Boyd, I think, had the best catch of the day. It didn't count.
Yeah.
But he made it as close as possible. That reminded me of a Jackson Smith and Jigba catch. We're like, he's not going to
call. Yeah.
And like, he almost got his foot. And it wasn't one of those where, he almost got his foot in, but, he really should have. Like, no, I can't even believe he got it that close. You can see why there's all this buzz for Brock Boyd. He was the first freshman to get his black stripe removed, and then he was the only freshman for a while. And then Chris Henry Jr. did as well. I think Guilford did. So I like all 3 of those. And then Devin McEwen looks good.
Yeah.
Parker looks good. McEwen's the one that I think is going to play a lot, though.
So you brought up Julian Sayin and if you had $100, you said right now you would place that $100 on Julian Sayin to win the Heisman. He's currently 13-1 at Hollywood Casino Columbus. So the favorite is Arch Manning at 8-1. CJ Carr is plus 850. Chambliss 10-1. Moore 13-1. Hoover 13-1. And Jeremiah Smith sitting there at 14-1. By the way.
To go to Hollywood Casino, the beautiful sports book there, if I win that $1,300 and me, you, and Isaiah just hanging out. Oh, yeah.
Which we're going to be partying on Thursday.
We are, yes.
At Hollywood Casino. We'll get into that more later on in the hour.
It's about time we go out and have a watch party there. Have we ever done that before?
Gosh.
Just like, I don't know, like dozens of times in the last couple of years. I love it.
Dozens. I feel like we might be hitting close to 3 digits on the number of parties we've done out at the casino, and we love it each time. But a couple other things that I wanted to bring up, and I will tell you, so I watched the game on TV on Big Ten Network, and I thought Tyvis Powell did a phenomenal job. He is the fans' Tyvis Powell, and I thought he was awesome. But one of the points that he brought up during the first half, talking about the turnover with Ohio State football and the number of new players, 51 new players coming in. But he also talked about how Arthur Smith and Matt Patricia are used to seeing turnover like this coaching in the NFL, because a lot of times year to year, even week to week, you have practice squad guys being raised up to the team. You have free agent signings all the time. You have a lot of coming and going in the NFL.
Every year, yep.
Draft picks all the time. You get a lot of turnover in the NFL. And those assistant coaches, the coordinators, have a lot of experience with turnover and how that could benefit Ohio State.
It's still almost unbelievable to me that Ohio State's coordinators are former NFL head coaches. And they are like, you can see, I mean, they're like, it's a very small fraternity of guys that were like NFL head coaches. And you see Patricia and this is pretty rare, I think, at football practices. You see Patricia and Art Smith a lot like together talking. It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be some high-level football. And I'm sure they're also discussing other stuff, too. Like, did you see that Dexter Lawrence trade? No. But it's really cool seeing how well they get along and how, like, they're throwing ideas off of each other. And they're going to tell us exactly what they're talking about? No. I love when Tim May asked Arthur Smith, are you like an open book? Meaning, will you adjust your scheme to the strength of your players? And Arthur kind of laughed at him. You mean like, am I going to give you the game plan before every game? No, I'm not going to do that. But, man, I think we're going to look back on it. I get Matt Patricia vibes from Arthur Smith. I think we're going to look back on it as an absolute home run hire.
Well, okay, so one of the things this last year was there was always this debate back and forth. How much involvement does Ryan Day have in the play calling when Brian Hartline was the offensive coordinator, right? How much did Ryan Day turn over to Brian Hartline last year? It does feel like this coming year, we're not going to have those questions at all with Arthur Smith and running the offense.
That's exactly right. It reminds me a lot of 2 years ago. And there's a ripple effect. You have a veteran like they did with Chip Kelly, who's, called offenses at a high level for a long time. Chip Kelly, obviously, another guy that was an NFL head coach, wasn't successful, just like, although his first year with the Eagles, they were 10-6 and made the playoffs.
That's right.
That's not, compared to some of the other guys, ask Urban Meyer how hard that would be to do in the NFL, and Matt Patricia and Art Smith. But you're right, man. So, like, Arthur Smith has been calling plays in the NFL the last 7 years. His time with the Titans as offensive coordinator, and one of those years they had one of the best offenses in the NFL. Helps when you have Derrick Henry and a really good offensive line. I get it. But Ryan Tannehill had the best year of his career when Art was there. He also called plays all 3 years. He was the head coach of the Falcons in the last 2 years with the Steelers. So, and it allows, Scott, it also allows Ryan Day to step back in a CEO role. The 1 year he did that, they won the national title.
Yep.
So add it all up, and I think that's going to be an excellent hire for Ohio State, and it will prove to be. And that's one of the great things about sports, Scott. We're going to find out for sure in the fall. Maybe it wasn't a good hire. Now, was the Dexter Lawrence trade a good one for the Bengals? Did they overpay? Might it be a good deal for both teams? We're going to talk about that next on The Money.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking, perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout, from backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus, grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right, you gotta pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. with support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need, to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we, because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on first, high, deep left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Increasing clouds throughout the day today with temperatures getting in the mid to upper 50s with breezy winds. Then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with a slight chance of showers and breezy winds as temperatures drop down into the low 30s. For Monday, widespread frost, otherwise turning sunny throughout the day with our highs in the low 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. And now back to a show featuring two dudes who've been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You are listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
So last night we were having a blast. We were out at the trivia contest. Tito, Anthony Rothman, me, Isaiah, we were all hanging around, and all of a sudden this news broke. And for some reason, Tito's holding up his phone in front of my face, and I'm like, what? And it's Dexter Lawrence is being traded to the Bengals for the number 10 pick. And the first thought that went through my mind was actually, I wonder what Dave thinks about this as a huge Bengals fan. And Bengals don't make moves like this, trading top 10 picks for current players. They've never done it, right? Since the draft 1966, they've never traded a top 10 pick for another player. And I said last hour during the call-in show, I thought it was a really, really good move. I thought it made a ton of sense. But I do know that there are a lot of Bengals fans out there that have concerns about this deal, potentially because they wanted a Buckeye to be drafted by the Bengals. But Dave, you're a big Bengals fan. You tell it how it is, right? I want to know, do you like, love, hate, or dislike this trade?
I'm somewhere between like and love.
Okay.
Maybe closer to love for a multitude of reasons. I mean, obviously, it's so tough to find a guy that's 340 pounds that also can rush the passer and is still in his prime. You could argue he's nearing the end of his prime, but still only 28. And he's got a couple guys on the Bengals that he knows really well. I mean, he won a national championship at Clemson with T. Higgins. They're good friends. He played with B.J. Hill when they were with the Giants together. I just think it's just huge getting a plug-and-play guy like that. I mean, it's win now for the Bengals. I mean, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be this year, though that'd be nice. I mean, they've got a nice window here the next 2-3 years, and that coincides with perhaps the rest of Dexter Lawrence's prime. I tend to think he's still going to be in his prime for the next 2 to 3 years. And some nose tackles can play well. They can age a little better because they're not running around that much. They can, still play pretty well into their 30s, not deep into their 30s. Here's another thing, the Caleb Downs situation. Let me address that. First of all, there's obviously no guarantee he would have fallen to 10. Most people have him going before then. Let's say he did fall to 10. Would the Bengals definitely have taken him if this didn't happen? I'm not convinced they would have. They didn't bring him in for a visit. I've heard, they didn't say this on the record or anything, but there's been sources that have said the Bengals, their front office has a little trepidation with Caleb Downs being a little undersized safety at 6'2", 205. I'm like, you can't just look at his measurables. That guy punches above his weight. He's a human missile. He's the smartest football player I might have ever covered at Ohio State. He's going to be I think he's the safest pick in the draft, but no guarantee he was going to be there at 10. And even if he was, no guarantee the Bengals would have taken him. They might have taken Delane, the corner from LSU. The big-time guys were going to be off the board. So I think the fact that 10th pick, they didn't feel like there was necessarily a player that was going to be there that was going to be worthy of the 10th pick. I think it's a good trade, man, because you look at I heard Ryan Baker talking about this. I mean, not that I'm a big Zach Taylor fan, but the Bengals are the only ones that are not breaking in a new head coach. And the offense has been elite the last couple of years. The defense has been pathetic, and they've had to spend a lot of money to do it. And they're going to have to give Dexter Lawrence a contract extension here. And then, they've talked with his agent. I've heard they're at least close enough, the Bengals and Dexter Lawrence, on an extension, or they wouldn't have made the trade. So that's going to happen. So, yeah, you're paying a pretty penny. You're not just giving up the 10th pick. You're then going to have to pay Dexter Lawrence market value. He's got 2 years left on his contract, but no guaranteed money. But, man, I love it. I love it. They finally have invested on the defense. And with that offense, if you can just get your defense above average, that's going to go a long way. From historically bad to above average is a massive leap. So we'll see. Again, great thing about sports is we will find out. We might look back on it like, wow, they gave up whatever turns out to be the 10th pick for a washed-up Dexter Lawrence. That could happen, or it could be.
But he's still young, right?
Relatively 28, right?
28, right? So that's part of the reason that I love it is because you got him in his prime too. And I think an underrated part about this trade too, Dave, is I feel like you have got to keep Joe Burrow happy. And when you've got a superstar defensive lineman coming in, that's only going to make your quarterback happy, right? And you go back and you think back to some of those Bengals games this year where the defense was just absolutely horrendous, right? Like the Browns, that Browns game, I remember the Jets game. What was that? That was a game like in the 30s. Like there was just so many times where it was just so ridiculous how bad the Bengals defense was that it was laughable almost. And so now you are putting a superstar in the middle of your defensive line. I think Joe Burrow's going to love it. And you talk about the 10th pick and not knowing exactly what's going to be there at that point. You also don't have that guarantee that 10th pick is going to 100% work out, right? I think you can pretty much put 100% or near 100% the Dexter Lawrence is going to work out.
Absolutely. And, he compliments, I think Jonathan Allen's kind of nearing, the end of his prime. But I still think that was a solid getting Jonathan Allen as the 3 tech. You still have B.J. Hill there. They've done a nice job. The DN they got from the Seahawks. I'm of the opinion, not just the Bengals, maybe more so for the Bengals, you're going to have to overpay in free agency. That's why you need to hit your draft picks, and that'll be, and you want to get some bargains in free agency as well. But the big-time guys, you're going to have to overpay for a little bit. So I was okay with maybe giving Jonathan Allen maybe a little bit more than he was projected to make, and giving the DN from the Seahawks maybe more than he was projected to make. Another reason I'm not convinced they would have taken Caleb Downs if he was there is they spent a lot, and I think this was a good move, on Brian Cook, the safety from the Chiefs, former second-round pick, played 4 seasons for the Chiefs, and then hit free agency. He went to college at the University of Cincinnati. He's a really good safety, and they gave him a 3-year, $40 million contract. So, and he's more of a Caleb Downs type. So not that he's as good as Caleb Downs. So yeah, I get where Bengal fans would say if you told me for sure that we're trading Caleb Downs on a rookie contract for Dexter Lawrence, probably going to pay him $30 million, maybe I'd feel different. But it's, what do you think, Scott? You think there was like a 15% chance they're going to get Downs?
Probably.
A, he would have to fall there, which unlikely, and then B, they'd have to be smart enough to take him.
Right.
Which they're typically not very smart with these things. They nailed it with Burrow. They nailed it with Jamar Chase, but they've had so many other like premium picks that they have not nailed. Shamar Stewart. We were at the watch party last year when they took Shamar Stewart. I was ready to just pack up shop and just go home.
You were.
I was like, this is a terrible pick. Terrible
It was
pick.
one of my, and I don't like to laugh at your misery, but I will tell you at the casino during draft night last year, which join us this year, maybe you'll see something similar.
And I won't freak out about the Bengals first round pick this year. That's for sure.
That's true. But I could see the steam coming out of your ears, your nose when that pick was made, and you were ready. I think you had your laptop. I think you slammed the laptop down, and you were ready to just leave the watch party. And you're like, you know what? I hate this pick. I hate that the Bengals did this. I knew they would do this. And the anger coming out of you last year was a sight to see at the casino. We won't have that this year. Now, when I was referring back to how bad the Bengals defense was, there was that stretch in the middle of the year where they lost back-to-back home games, where you lost to the Jets 39-38, and then the ultra embarrassing game was the Bears game, where I know that the Bears ended up being a very good team, but the Bengals scored 42 points and lost 47-42 at home to the Bears. And so that was the point in the season where just in the middle of the year, the defense was just laughably awful.
I saw a stat where the Bengals, I'll have to look it back up. It was roughly, I remember they were 6-7 in games that, and I believe games that they scored 35 points or more. Somewhere in the third. So they were 6-7 in games they scored maybe it was 34 points or more. The rest of the NFL, a total of 12 teams, or a total of 12 losses for their other 31 teams. When they scored 35 points or more, the Bengals had half of those.
Absolutely laughably bad. What's not bad is we're going to come back and talk about the Ohio State basketball transfer portal. Actually, we're now up to 3 new players on the team, including one that was added last night. We're going to get into that. And we're also going to talk a little bit more sports gambling with our good friend Noah Kirk from Hollywood Casino Columbus. There's been talk lately about sports betting being limited a little bit in the state of Ohio. That would be ridiculous. We're going to get into all that in 2 minutes right here on The Money.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 5-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax, and not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Scotty Vegas is still offering player props at his kids' soccer games. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All right, so big news last night for Ohio State hoops. And I'm really excited about it because I've liked what Ohio State basketball has done in the transfer portal right now. And yesterday, Ohio State adds a guard package to this. So Jimmy Williams out of Duquesne, transfer from Duquesne. He's an Ohio kid. He is a fifth-year senior. He's a 6'5". He'll play a little bit of the 2, the 3. And what I like the most about this situation, Dave, of him coming in is I think he adds a really good sixth man to your team. Because what did we do last year as Buckeye basketball fans? We kept staring at the bench and saying, there's nothing here that we like, honestly, because you looked at it, Chapman kind of stepped up a little bit later in the year, but you didn't get much out of him until about February. And then you had Gabe Cupps, who was a disappointment. You had Brandon Knoll, who was hurt for most of the year. You had some other pieces that just didn't kind of work out that you thought might. And Jimmy Williams is a kid coming off a good year at Duquesne, third team All-Atlantic 10, averaged 15 points a game. I think he's going to be the first guy off the bench. He's a very good defensive player, 6'5". He has the height. I think he will be a good addition to this Buckeye team because of the role that they expect him to play, which will be first guy off the bench, sixth man.
I like the additions so far. I really like getting Scottie Pippen's son. Scottie Pippen was at the spring game yesterday. I'm a Bulls fan. It's hard to follow the Bulls anymore, but when I was, in junior high school, even elementary school, following like the rise of Jordan, and then the year the Bulls got Pippen and Horace Grant in the draft, it was like both in the first round. I was like, here we go. So it's pretty cool having Scottie Pippen's son here. I think they're doing decent. I expected more. We're not done yet. I think the three guys they've gotten are the good pickups, but I want that marquee guy. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's in play because I think they have their starting five. I think Justin Pippen's going to be your point guard. You got Mobley, you got Thompson, you got Bynum, and then you got a couple different options as far as the big man goes. So I think that they've got their five. I think at this point, Dave, I think they're looking for more depth pieces and making sure that they're not playing just 5 or 6 guys. I think this is going to be an 8 or 9 deep team now. And here's my argument. So at first I was a little disappointed in Justin Pippen being the guy, right? The kind of the big splashy guy that they went with. But then I kind of looked into it more. Really good defensive player. And that makes sense because it complements what Ohio State has. Because what's Ohio State really good at? You got Mobley, who's a great scorer and shooter. You got Bynum, who's a freak athlete, who's going to score. And you got Thompson, who's a freshman that's expected to come in here and be a really good shooter and scorer. So you've got the offense in those 3 positions. Pippen is more of a distributor of the ball and a good defensive player. So I think it kind of rounds out this team a little bit more. The other thing about the guy they added yesterday in Jimmy Williams is he is a good rebounder. And that's another thing that Ohio State was so bad at last year was rebounding out of those guard positions, and rebounding in general was bad. But now you add a couple more kids with size. Pippen can play defense and rebound, and Williams can rebound. So I think those make a ton of sense for what Ohio State already has on its roster.
Yeah, good point on Pippen. I like the fact that even though he's only 6'3", 180, he averaged 4 rebounds a game.
Right.
Is that a lot of rebounds? No, of course. But like for a 6'3", 180 guard,
yes,
that shows me toughness.
Yeah.
No surprise at all given who his dad is.
How about the picture yesterday? And I know it was posted on the fan account and it blew up. It was on the sidelines, Jake Diebler walking around with Scottie Pippen. That was just cool to see in the shoe.
Cool. I tell you what, Jake looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Scottie Pippen looked cool. I had to enlarge the photo. I'm like, is that Scott? Oh yeah. I saw it. He had the sunglasses on. Very unique facial structure with Scottie Pippen. One of my favorite players. I used to call him, a point forward. I think he invented that position, the point forward. He was so good defensively. I love that we got Justin Pippen. I'm still not where I think they need to be with the big men. Now we'll see if Big Josh, who sat out last year, who transferred from Baylor, if he can be the man. Nagovan's back. They got the guy from Kentucky. Feels like they're missing Bynum being possibly a superstar. You and I feel like Bynum might break out this year.
Yes.
I feel like they're one big guy away.
Maybe, but you do have three options there, right? The Yelovich kid out of Kentucky is someone I think that they are expecting to make a big jump this year. And then Josh O, who you're hoping comes in with the same ability that he had at Baylor, which he is a really good rebounder, really good at finishing around the rim, that toughness. I was telling a story last hour about we were out doing Rothman and Ice's show from the Schottenstein Center, and I see Josh walking down the hallway. And at this time, this was last summer, so I didn't know a lot about him. And I see this mountain of a man walking down the hallway, and I'm like, he passes the eye test. Like, he has got the size, the build, the strength.
And 6'10", 280, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Huge. And so I'm like, that's the kind of guy we need down low. Not necessarily the centers that like to, work their way out and shoot a lot of threes that we've seen lately.
Yeah, Christoph Tilley, 7 foot, plays like he's 6'4".
Well, that's also coming off a year where you had Aaron Bradshaw.
Oh gosh,
who was he was 7 foot playing like 6'0". He's 6 foot.
I mean, Tilley was like Jokic compared to Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Bradshaw was really, really, really bad. They've done a bad job in the portal. I know I'm not breaking news there. I mean, geez, last year, no. It's just, and even taking a chance on Josh last year, Josh O. It's like, man, I mean, that was a year you have to make, and they did make the tournament. I don't know if I would have taken a chance on a guy that they probably thought, they even said coming into the year, it's probably likely he's going to have to sit out the year. Now, if that turns into a huge boost to this year's team, we'll take it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they're losing Bruce, and we sit here right now, are we convinced they're going to be better? I see a lot of the same. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope
I'm wrong. They still don't have a GM, which is, what are they doing?
I know. Don't get me started on that.
What are they doing?
That drives me crazy.
And right now is when you would need one.
The thing that the question for next year is next year's team going to be better than this last year's team? And the argument that I would make, and I'm hesitant to make it, but the argument that I would make is they will be better next year because of the fit seems to make more sense next year. Jake Diebler wants to play more up-tempo basketball. And I feel like the players that they brought in, they will play at a faster pace. They couldn't do that with Bruce and Devin Royal and Tilley as your center. You weren't going to be running up and down the court with those guys in your starting five. It just didn't make sense. And so I also do believe that Amari Bynum is going to make that step. And I'll tell you, I asked someone last night who would know, because I was curious on the NIL front. You got Thompson coming in, who's a top 10 recruit, and you have Amari Bynum, who is already broke out last year and is going to be expensive for Ohio State to keep. I asked this person, I said, okay, so you've got Amari Bynum coming back. I was surprised that Amari Bynum didn't shop his services out there just to see how much money he could get on the open market.
You're sure he didn't?
He didn't.
Oh, wow.
He didn't. But from what I was told, Ohio State paid an absolute premium to make sure Bynum was back with this team, that they were not going to let the door open up for other schools to contact him to try and get money, that they were going to lock him in at a certain amount. and this was not going to be negotiated, and this is an offer he couldn't refuse.
May have been an offer he couldn't refuse.
And so
here's the thing: we compare it to like pro sports. This is exactly what this is. They wanted to, before free agency started, they wanted to give him the contract extension. Basically,
bam.
Very, very smart move.
So that's exactly it. And so with making him paid as high as he is, that does limit you a little bit in trying to go out and find another superstar.
It's like last year, the same thing. That's why Tilly was the highest ranked guy they got in the portal, and Noel was the second highest. Because why? Because they paid a lot to retain Bruce, Junie, and Devin Royal.
Yeah. I also asked, I was prying quite a bit last night.
As you are wont to do.
Yes. You know me, I like to try and sneak in that info.
Sometimes you'll even text sources from like one of your friends' phones.
Yes. At the casino. But
multiple times.
I asked who Ohio State committed more money to in the NIL world. Was it Bynum or was it a top 10 pick in Anthony Thompson? Because I was really curious.
I'm curious what the answer is.
And apparently,
Thompson?
No.
Oh, Bynum.
Bynum is going to make more money.
I would have lost that because I know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Thompson. I know a decent amount about him, and there was talks during because he's originally from Lebanon, Ohio, and obviously very talented. He's going to come in and be the starting three. We know that. McDonald's All-American week. There were nice reports about practices that week. Oh, he's looking really good. Then the game rolled around, and he barely played and wasn't really able to get in a rhythm. So I won't even say he played poorly because he wasn't able to get in a rhythm. I think he had 3 minutes in the first half. So I don't want to put too much. That could have just been a coach that was out to lunch.
Yeah.
Or maybe was playing guys that I don't know what to make of that. What do you make of that?
I'm with you. I tuned into that McDonald's All-American game. We were on vacation. We were in Kentucky, and I told everybody, I'm going back to the room, and I am watching the McDonald's All-American because I want to see Anthony Thompson. And yeah, I was disappointed that he didn't really play much. He made a 3, and I think that was all that he really contributed. But my excitement level is very high based on all the reports and all the videos that I've watched on him. I think he will be a star right away. And if you look at top 10 recruits in basketball that have come in, it's very rare now that you do not see one of the top 10 recruits perform extremely well that freshman year.
And I'm put you on the spot here. This is not Scotty doesn't know. I'm curious. So he's the highest ranked recruit since
D'Angelo Russell.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, D'Angelo.
Yep.
But we're not expecting him to come in and have a D'Lo type. He's not going to come in and average like 19 points a game, right? I mean, hopefully he averages 29 points a game. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking like over under 15. You'd go over 15 points a game.
Ooh, I think that's a really good number that you set that at. I would say, with Ohio State wanting to play up-tempo, I could see 15 a game.
If he gets 15 a game, that's going to be huge for this team. Because what you can't afford is him to come in and he's all the hype around him. He's the big-time recruit, and he's like, okay.
Right.
Like he averages like 12 points a game, but he's taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Averaging like 12 points a game, maybe not a lot. He's not a big rebounder. He's a true 3-man. I don't think he's like I don't think he's a bad rebounder, but he's not a good rebounder.
Right.
I think that's probably his thing is scoring. So if he's averaging like 12 points a game, but starting and shooting a lot, that's probably not what this team needs. All right, we're going to get back to Ohio State spring game talk, and we're going to check in with our friend Noah Kirk live here in studio. This is On the Money.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
We all plan to be on time.
But fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads can quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave. But a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I moved back to Columbus with my beautiful wife and our two amazing daughters and our golden retriever, Harley. This community brought me back because this is where I feel connected. Where my daughters were born, this is my home. And that is to say, I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Email from a listener. What exactly is Common Man and Timmy supposed to be? How can I put this? A couple of immature men who love to have mindless conversation, laugh, and dabble in sports and farts.
Weekdays at 3.
And there you go, The Fan.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, what are we wearing?
Lie detectors. Anytime a lie is detected, we get a little shock.
All right, let's try them. So, Pella was rated by homeowners as the leading window brand here in Columbus.
Nothing? Okay. Well, our windows can change the look of your home. Ow. This thing sometimes shocks you when you tell the truth. Ouch. It's okay. I'm having fun.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Dave Biddle named his own dog Parlay. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Ah, yes, the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. And we are throwing a party this Thursday for the first round of the NFL Draft. Can't wait to get out there at 7 o'clock. Join us at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus as we are going to be celebrating. We have prizes that get to give out throughout the evening. It is going to be one of those fun nights in Columbus because we expect a lot of Buckeyes to go very, very early. So join us 7 o'clock out there at Hollywood Casino Columbus. And we just happened to welcome in our good friend, Noah Kirk from Hollywood Casino Columbus. He is the sportsbook director there. And there's a lot that I want to get into in the sports gambling world. A lot of news out there, including some news that people saw over the last couple weeks about Ohio potentially putting some limitations on sports gambling. We're going to get into that with you in just a minute or two. But no, I want to ask you about the NFL draft and some of the things that you can bet on at Hollywood Casino.
Yeah, so we do have some markets available. We're a bit limited. I think the first 2 picks are all but decided. So you can come up and bet 3 through 10. You know, you can pick the player who you think is going to go 3 through 10. We have position specials. So one of the ones I really like right now is number of quarterbacks drafted in the first round over under 1.5.
Okay.
Ooh,
so Ty Simpson is kind of the potential second quarterback. What are the odds as far as the juice on that?
So I believe yes, over 1.5 is minus 140 right now.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think someone's going to jump on Simpson.
I do too. I like the value on that.
Yeah, although I think I remember saying last year, I think someone's going to take Shedeur Sanders late in the first round. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that second quarterback.
What
third
about
quarterback as it was?
What about Buckeye props out there? Because obviously here in Columbus, you're going to have people that want to come out to the sports book counter and say, I want this amount of money on if this Buckeye is going to go win. What are we seeing out there with Buckeye odds?
So we got third overall pick, Arvell Reese. Plus 175. So he's number 2 as far as odds go. David Bailey's plus 150. And then it goes down from there. The one you were talking about, Caleb Downs, it looks like he might go 5th based on the odds, plus 300. And then Sonny Styles looks like, he's going to go to the Giants now?
And then
they're going to get 2 Buckeyes with the Giants and John Harbaugh being there. Yeah. But the thing is, what about, is K-Mac on there, Caden McDonald? Because he's one of those guys that's like, if you look at mock drafts, it's like a fringe late first, early second. I think he would be an absolute steal in the early second. I'm surprised he's not a first-round lock because we were talking to Tyvis Powell yesterday about all these guys that are losing on defense. Who's going to be the biggest loss? Is it going to be Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese? He said K-Mac. K-Mac's going to be the biggest loss. And I agree with him.
Yeah, he's not showing on really no top 10 of our markets.
Oh, it's just okay. Because if there was a bet that he'll be a first round pick and I was getting plus money on or even money, I'd jump on that. All right, let's get to some other matters of business here.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to know about Browns. Like they're obviously picking it at 6. So a lot of people are thinking Carnell Tate. I know Isaiah behind the glass there is a big Browns fan. He wants Carnell Tate to be a Browns wide receiver. What are we thinking here, Noah, as what are the odds saying that the Browns might do?
So 6th overall pick, it looks good for a Buckeye. Carnell Tate is the favorite at plus 180, and Sonny Styles is number 2 at plus 400.
I could also see them taking the offensive lineman from Miami. Would you be good with that, Isaiah?
I'm fine with O-line, but I would prefer it be Carnell Tate at 6.
Yeah, and, we'll see. Maybe they can get and they also have the 24th pick, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, that was a good trade last year.
All right, Noah Kirk from Hollywood Casino Columbus, sportsbook director, joins us here. One of the things that has been topical because, once this news broke, everybody was texting me about it. But there are some lawmakers out there that have proposed limitations on sports betting.
Boo.
Boo is right. We already know that they have put limitations on college player props. They've talked about going even as far as banning online sports betting in the state of Ohio. They've talked about limits on the amount that you can wager, things like that. I want to know where you guys are as far as your information on the chances that this actually happens.
So it's such a big change, removing online gambling, $100 max wager with like 5 max wagers per day. such a big change. Realistically, I just don't see it happening. They've already kind of turned this spigot on with the tax dollars.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to give up, you know. So I realistically, I don't see it happening, but there is something being talked about. The next door neighbor to Ohio, Illinois, does have a percentage on total handle tax. And that's being talked about here to help fund new stadiums and things of that nature. Something like that I do see maybe getting some legs.
Oh, I hate that. How about having the billionaire owners fund the stadiums and not have, like, you know, Joe Sixpack have to pay a tax just to bet? Not if he wins. Just has to pay a tax for the right to make a bet. That's ridiculous. And I love when Ohioans, like, pass these laws, like, you know, or vote for these laws and win by a landslide, and the legislators, you know, a few months later, a few years, okay, the people voted for it, but how about we just do what we want to do? How about no? How about no?
Right, exactly.
We've shamed them into eventually having sports gambling here in Ohio, because every show on the money in 2019, 2020, 21, 22, we said by 22 we knew it was coming. We were like, how come we're behind every other state around us? People are leaving. People are going to Indiana, including us. We're going to West Virginia. We're going to all these different states that have it. How about we have it in Ohio? And then we finally shamed them into doing it, and we got to shame them again.
And they want to screw it up.
They want to screw it up.
They want to screw it up. And, and it's bringing in so much money already. Let's try and make more money off these people. And what Noah was referring to is like a 2% fee on sports wagers. Tell us a little bit about how that happens.
So, yeah, it would be on handle. So not necessarily the revenue that the sports books make get taxed. It would be on every wager, 2% of every wager made. So if you bet $100, they're taxing it $2 on each wager.
That's going to add up big time.
Yeah.
It would add up big time, yeah. And
They're
it would
saying
fund
about
some nice stadiums.
They're saying this could raise an additional $200 million per year for the state of Ohio.
It's just not the right thing to do, though.
No!
I mean, my gosh. Again, I'm not joking when I say, how about and I know, you know, there's like what they're doing in Cincinnati when they're, like, you know, renovating Paul Brown Stadium. The Bengals are paying some of that, but then the taxpayers are paying a lot of that. How about have the billionaire? I mean, these NFL teams are worth, like, ridiculous amounts of money. How about have them pay for the stadiums?
And we got to give out some credit because we have a really sweet belt that we pass along between the Fan and the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. And so our latest contest was a March Madness bracket contest, which was won by
Isaiah Jacob.
So the belt stays with us.
Way to go, Isaiah. Woo! Isaiah had a big March Madness, my friend.
Yeah.
Started off a little slow with sandbagging, you know, and then won all the big money.
Yes. So
good job, Isaiah.
We won the college football playoff. We won the NCAA tournament contest. Next up, maybe the NFL draft. One thing we do know is that we cannot wait till Thursday night because we're going to throw an awesome draft party with our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
And what time are we going to be out there?
Little 7 o'clock start. We're going to do a little digital show, and then we're going to watch the draft together, which we're going to have a lot of Buckeyes going early.
And you guys won't have to see me freak out with what the Bengals do in the first round. They got Dexter Lawrence as their first-round pick. Thank you very much, Noah Kirk. We appreciate it, my friend.
Absolutely.
All right, the first hour of the show is in the books. Stick around for the second hour for Scotty Doesn't Know and much more. This is On the Money.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Save big money on everything you need at Menards. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements, and it enhances the appearance of your home's exterior. Owens Corning shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from 26 colors of Owens Corning Duration shingles and transform your home today. Shop our selection of roofing products on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find plenty of great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. In the NFL, the first domino fell in the top end of the NFL draft yesterday as the Cincinnati Bengals traded their number 10 pick in this year's draft to the Dallas Cowboys. In return, the Bengals received Pro Bowl defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. This is the first time the Bengals have traded a top 10 pick for a player in the common draft era. In the NBA, the Cavaliers began their 7-game series by taking Game 1 against the Toronto Raptors 126-113. Donovan Mitchell had 32 in the win, while James Harden added 22 and 10 assists. Game 2 in Cleveland is tomorrow at 7. In other NBA playoff action, the Nuggets took a 1-0 series lead against the Timberwolves. The Knicks beat the Hawks 113-102. And last night, without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, LeBron James led the Lakers to a 1-0 start in their series against the Rockets. In MLB action, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Twins yesterday 5-4. The Reds are back in action today at 2:10. Coverage begins right here on The Fan at 1:45.
Some people golf on Sunday mornings. Some people place bets on the people playing golf on Sunday mornings. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I'm joined by Scott Prokop. We, of course, like to call him Scotty Vegas. We have Isaiah Jacob, the champion of our March Madness pool, at the controls. And my friends, right about now, it's time for the Parlay Party. Hit it, Isaiah. All right, Parlay Parties where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice trade that our favorite NFL team made. Could be anything at all. Scotty Vegas, what are you celebrating today?
I got a lot to celebrate, guys. A lot of good stuff going on. First off, we went to a trivia event last night. Had so much fun at it. We ended up tying for first place. Lost on the tie break question. That's okay.
Lost in a shootout.
We lost in the shootout. We still won a pretty cool prize and had a blast. And what I love, I took my 9-year-old son Spencer, and he got a chance to get a picture taken with Bo Jackson, Ohio State running back Bo Jackson, and we talked to him for a little bit. And one of the cool things, and I was telling you this off air, and I wanted to actually mention it on air, is it feels like whenever we meet players, current players or recent Buckeye players, they're just the nicest people when you're around him in public. Like Bo Jackson last night, just so cool to be around, answered a lot of our questions, took pictures with people, just had a blast. It was a highlight for Spencer to get to meet Bo Jackson, one of his favorite players. So that was very cool. Also want to celebrate the fact that my daughter's softball team, the Jags, which is Genoa, end up winning a softball tournament. She won a big ring for her finger, got a little softball on it. So very cool for Autumn and the Jags winning the softball league. And then I'm also celebrating, guys. I got my first 9 holes of golf in this week. Weather was nice. Very first hole, made a birdie.
Nice.
Downhill from there, but the first hole was good.
This is your first time golfing?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't get out there a few other times.
That's what Ryan said. He's like, I'm surprised you're not like 10 rounds deep at this point.
So I drive my daughter to and from school, and we always go by Thornapple Country Club, which is not a country club. It's a public course, but we're going right by there because it's on Fetter. And, like, there'll be days it's like, maybe in the upper 40s, but it's sunny, and there'll be a lot of golfers out there. So I'm thinking, I figured you had already had like 5 rounds in. All right, some of the things I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating that Bengals trade. I know a lot of people, Giants fans, think that it was great for them, and maybe it was. People are saying it was a bit of an overpay for the Bengals. I love it. I love it because, first of all, Caleb Downs was not at all guaranteed to make it to 10, and even if he did, I don't know if the Bengals would have been smart enough to take. I would have taken Caleb Downs if he was there. So with not knowing that situation, I think getting Dexter Lawrence, who's just a game wrecker in there at nose tackle, I like that trade for the Bengals. Yeah, I mean, get up to the 10 pick. That does sting a little bit, but I think it's worth it, especially when you're in win-now mode over these next couple of years. Also, last thing before I kick it to Isaiah, the Reds. Reds looking good. Still very early in the season. They're winning a lot of games that they would have lost last year. I mean, yesterday they're down 4-2, and then they just keep chipping away. They win 5-4, they hit in the 9th at Minnesota. They're sitting there at 13-8. 13-8, so they're 5 games over 500. Their over-under was 80.5. So all they need to do is go 81-81, and they hit the over there. So good start for the Reds. Are in first place in the Central. Everybody in the NL Central has a winning record, which is interesting. Competitive division. I still think the Cubs will probably win it, but hopefully it's the Reds. Pirates are looking good, too. So those are the things I'm celebrating. What about you, Isaiah?
I'm celebrating a big win from the Cavs yesterday. Some playoff NBA started up. They went up 1-0. Great game from Donovan Mitchell, dropping in 32 points, taking on the Raptors. A little bit of a slow first half, but they ended up pulling away in the second and had a comfortable win, as I expected them to. So I'm excited for the Cavs to be started up in the playoffs. Also excited that the Ohio State Buckeyes lacrosse team finished up their regular season on Friday by beating the team up north.
Yeah.
And what makes it even sweeter is the Big Ten tournament starts this upcoming weekend. And who do they have? They have Michigan again. So not only could they end their season by beating Michigan, they can also knock Michigan out of the Big Ten tournament on Saturday. Great path for them. And then the second round, they'll meet up with Johns Hopkins, who they did just beat 2 weekends ago. So a pretty good path for the Buckeyes here in the Big Ten tournament. They're sitting right now around the 15 spot in the rankings. So right on the edge of making it into the tournament here in a couple of weeks. So some good stuff going on for the Buckeyes lacrosse as well.
Yeah, if you're not like a big Ohio State lacrosse fan, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Johns Hopkins is in the Big Ten in lacrosse? Yes, they're actually technically a member of the Big Ten because with the research universities, it's mostly with, stuff like medical research, but they're a really good lacrosse team, and they are in the Big Ten. So it's one of those, it's kind of like Notre Dame being in the Big Ten for hockey. So, and Isaiah, here's what I'm celebrating too. Isaiah's high school lacrosse team is doing really well this year.
Yeah.
Big 1 year turnaround.
7-3 start, which is the best in program history.
Not just a 1 year turn. And last year, right? You guys struggled a little bit now.
We were just below 500 last year, and so it's nice to see us come out hot this season. We've scored as many goals halfway through the season at this point as we did all of last season, which is insane.
Hashtag coaching matters.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's got to be the coach. Hey, let's bring up some of the comments from our YouTube chat, because there's a lot of good chatter in there. Craig, talking about the Dexter Lawrence trade, says, as a Browns fan, I'm angry with the Bengals. By letting the Giants land Carnell Tate, get defensive help, you've also forced Barry into one of the outsmart everyone trade downs. So he thinks because of the deal that the Giants now will take Carnell Tate, and then the Browns won't be able to get him. We'll see about that. And then he thinks that the Browns will end up at 6 trading down.
I think the Browns just stay at 6. Someone really is good is going to fall in their lap. If it's not Tate, I would take the offensive tackle from Miami at 6 and maybe get your wide receiver at 24, or maybe then trade up. I mean, they've got a lot of draft capital, that's for sure. I don't know. What do you think, Isaiah? You think they're going to try and if they think Tate's going to be off the board and that's who they want, you think they're going to try and trade back?
I think that they would go offensive line help.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry came out about it, and he had a pretty funny quote. He actually said it was hilarious because last year everyone was so sure that we were going to make a pick, and we ended up trading down. He said this year everyone's so sure that we're going to trade down, even though there's been no reports of him saying that they're interested in doing that. I still believe Tate's going to be there at 6. That's what I'm manifesting. I'm hoping that the Giants go and take Caleb Downs at 5. And then on the back end of the 10th pick, probably take like a Jordan Tyson or maybe a Mekhi Lemon and get the wide receiver a little bit later. Hoping that Carnell Tate is still there at 6. I'm not really for the Browns trading down at this point. I want them to go offensive line or Tate. I'd prefer Tate.
And and AJ in the chat talking about the Lawrence trade says Lawrence is better now than any player that the Bengals would have been able to draft at number 10. He says if Downs or Baines or Styles falls to 10, I'll be upset.
I tell you what, the Baines story is interesting. I heard Dane Lebitard, who's is in Miami talking about this. He's like, in today's day and age, how did the fact that Bain, now he wasn't like criminally charged or anything. It wasn't like an OVI, charges were dropped. But how 2 years ago was he driving a car that was in a serious accident that resulted in the death of a young lady, a 22-year-old young lady, and nobody knew about it until an NFL team, some NFL team that wants him, leaked it. A lot of people are saying it's probably the Chiefs. That does sound like something the Chiefs would do. Like, because basically the talk was, the public didn't know, but NFL teams knew about it. And then it's like Laramie Tunsil that one year.
Right.
Somebody wanted him and they leaked that video right before.
Yes.
It's hilarious. I mean, that's not hilarious what happened in this case, but it is funny like how NFL teams do this. It's cutthroat and then some. And I think the Caleb Downs knee stuff, I heard over at Ohio State there was never any talk about that. They think that was probably maybe like the Chiefs hoping that Caleb Downs would then slip to them at 9 if they, by the way, Caleb Downs has a bum knee. No, he doesn't.
I don't blame him. I honestly don't blame these teams for putting stuff like that out there. Like if there's someone that I want, like let's say we're doing a little fantasy draft or we're doing a little player pool, I'm throwing things out there that, you don't want to take this guy. I heard he was banged up or stuff like that. So I completely understand an NFL franchise doing it.
All's fair in love, war, and NFL draft and fantasy football. Yeah.
100%. And another take on AJ's take as well is for the Giants to trade back up into this 10 spot where the Bengals, who are defensive needy, are trading out of. I think that Bain being there, I think the Bengals probably weren't in love with Bain at 10. He's projected now to kind of go around that 14 spot. And then you look about the Caleb Downs thing. Downs is not going to be there at 10. If Downs was going to be there at 10, I think the Bengals probably don't make the trade. They're defensive needy. Would they have stayed in there and probably taken Downs? I think so. I think they're going defense at 5 because if you're going to go defense in this draft, you need to do it before the top 7. Because after that, it kind of falls off. So I think they'll target offense at that later pick.
Yeah, and if they want Styles, they better take him at 5. Because I see the Cowboys. There's all kind. The Cowboys never play it too close to the vest. Like everybody knows what they want to do. Like they want Styles. Initially, it looked like they were going to have a chance of getting him at 12. Then he put up a absolute show at the combine. He ain't last until 12. So there's a good chance the Cowboys could trade up to get their guy. So we'll see what happens. What's going to happen next is Scotty Doesn't Know right here on the Money.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave. But a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right, you gotta pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Spring into savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, drive your new Hyundai with payments as low as $94 per month for a 2-year lease. Get spring lease savings on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit. Payment on 26 Elantra SC. $39.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year ends 430.
The Reds are on the Fan's family of stations all season long. If you don't listen, Terry Francona will ride his scooter to your house and yell at you. Your home of the Reds. The Fan, the Fan 2, and the Fan 3.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Increasing clouds throughout the day today with temperatures getting in the mid to upper 50s with breezy winds. Then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with a slight chance of showers and breezy winds as temperatures drop down into the low 30s. For Monday, widespread frost, otherwise turning sunny throughout the day with our highs in the low 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Scotty Vegas can't even pronounce most of the names of the tennis players he bets on. He doesn't care as long as they win. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All right, back by popular demand is Scotty Doesn't Know. Hit it, Isaiah. All right, the first thing Scotty doesn't know is the theme of this particular Scotty Doesn't Know. Okay, this is Scotty Doesn't Know, ... Ohio State's 2026 football roster.
Oh, God. Okay.
I've never seen anything like this. I pride myself on passing the Jim Tressel test, where you just know the roster back. I mean, this was different. This was that on steroids this year with 51 new guys.
I'm going to be terrible at this.
But I'm going to give you hints. We're going to have fun with it. And some of them I think you'll be fine without hints. But and a lot of guys switched numbers. 51 new guys, but then even the returning guys, a lot of them switched numbers. It's not just going to be numbers. We'll start with a few numbers. All right. There are two number ones on Ohio State's 2026 football roster. Who are they? One of them is a returning player who won it last year, and one of them is one of their big-time transfers.
All right, I know Brandon Ennis is.
Bam. And who's the other one? Who's a transfer?
It's Earl Little.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Good job. All right, this one, just give me one of them. There are two number 3s on the roster. They're both transfers. Give me one of them.
Ooh, gosh.
Number 3.
That's going to be a problem.
Okay. One's a wide receiver and one's a D tackle. Give me one of them. They're both transfers.
McEwen.
Yes. Nailed it.
Is the transfer wide receiver.
And you have to get one of them.
I don't.
James Smith.
Okay.
D-tackle.
Wasn't going to get it.
He only had to get one of them. But we love hearing
Who's number 4? Can that be a question?
Okay. Jeremiah Smith wears the number 4.
Yes.
Who else wears it? Who's the defensive player that wears it? He is. Here's your hint. Another transfer. He's also James Smith's best friend. They played together at their previous school.
Oh.
Yeah, you got
Alabama transfer. You
got it. D-end. You got it.
Russaw.
Yeah, Quay Russaw.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh.
Okay, a few more with just jersey numbers. Then we'll move on to other stuff. All right, starting safety Jalen McLean's getting a lot of love. I mean, played well last year as a first-year starter as a sophomore. Now, Matt Patricia's basically saying, he's the leader of the defense. He's probably going to have the green dot. Maybe it'll be Peyton Pierce. Jalen McLean wore the number 18 last year as his first year as a starter. He's now switched numbers. What number is he wearing this year, Scott?
He dropped the 1, right? He's 8. Yes.
He's doing good. He was a little nervous, especially about it. He was like, "Well, what's the topic?"
I like to know the topic ahead of time.
Yeah, but this was a little too specific. I wanted this to be completely off the top.
Didn't want me studying it, right?
This one I think you're going to get easily. There are two number 9s on the roster. Can you name one of them?
Well, I know Tavian St. Clair.
There you go. You nailed it. I almost said you had to name both of them, but that might have been hard.
I actually have no clue on the other one.
Zion Grady. Okay, let's move on to other things. All right. What is Julian Sayin's hometown? It's got kind of a cool name, I think. You know the state, obviously, right?
Yeah.
There's a Cali guy.
He's California. Right. I actually have no idea.
Carlsbad.
That doesn't even pop.
Carlsbad.
I don't know if I ever knew that, to be honest.
The Carlsbad kid. All right, one player on the roster is from Connecticut. Can you name him? He's one of the transfers. Defensive transfer.
I don't have it.
Christian Allegro. Let's go internationally. I bet you'll get this one. One player on the roster is from Australia. Can you name him? Why would we have a guy from Australia on the team?
A punter.
Yeah.
Is it
Travis Bazzana? No, that's baseball. You got it.
McCarty?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. Help me out. I cannot remember the punter's name.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
I don't have it.
Joe McGuire.
Oh,
that was more Jerry Maguire, but I thought that'd be a good hint.
I don't like to know the punter because I don't expect him to be on the field much.
All right. Other than Ohio, which state is represented most on Ohio State's roster? Player. How many players?
I'm gonna go with. I know there's several California. I'm gonna go California.
No.
All right, Florida.
No.
Pennsylvania. Oh, my gosh.
They won a national championship in this state a couple years ago.
Texas.
No. They won the national championship in this state a couple years ago. They played Notre Dame. I was there. I got you confetti and everything.
Really? It's Georgia?
Georgia. Yes, it used to be.
That shocks me.
It used to be Florida, and they still have a lot of guys from Florida, right? J.J. Smith, Brandon Ennis, many, many others. Kenyatta Jackson and Jeremiah Smith went to the same high school.
Isaiah, would you have gotten Georgia?
I would not have gotten to Georgia. I think I would have gone Florida first, and then I might have said California. I would have went to Texas before Georgia.
Same.
I would have went to Pennsylvania before Georgia.
They don't have that many Pennsylvania. They used to. I mean, they've done a good job recruiting. They don't have as many Pennsylvania guys as they typically would. They've got a few Indiana guys. I love this guys. Georgia is just. I mean, it's always been a good high school football state. It's like just keeps getting better and better and better. So the most is from Georgia, other than Ohio, but they also have a lot from Florida, Texas, and California. How about that?
Makes
sense,
right?
We're going to lock down Ohio, and then we're going to go to the other 4 states that have the best talent in the country. I mean,
I'm curious. Do you know the number? How many from Georgia?
It was right around 20. I started counting because I wanted to make sure it was more than, because I knew Texas, California, and Florida were all in the mix, but I had a feeling it was Georgia, and Georgia did, was by a decent margin.
It's funny. Georgia would not have been a top. I would not have guessed that. I obviously didn't, but I wouldn't have thought Georgia at all.
It's crazy how many guys they have from Georgia. I mean, you just look at it. I mean, and Texas, they've got a bunch of guys from Texas, too, and California and Florida. It's just, I love their recruiting strategy. Breaking news there. All right. There's one player on the roster from Canada, and he's from Quebec, if that gives you any French-speaking area of our neighbors up north. Any idea? He's got a French-sounding name. He's a tight end. Probably not going to play that much.
Nope, Scotty doesn't know.
Max LeBlanc. It's from Canada. LeBlanc. All right. I love this. Even after losing Caleb Downs, Ohio State has 5 former Alabama Crimson Tide players on its roster this year.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Can you name 4 of the 5. Give me 3 of the 5.
I know Julian. I know James.
That was kind of a trick. I did throw Julian in there. Because technically, he was on the roster for a couple weeks at Bama.
James Smith.
His buddy. We already talked about him. He's wearing the number 4.
You just said it.
Oh, yes, I did. How do you say it? Russaw.
Yep.
Right,
and then you got it. The other 2 are Earl Little Jr.
Yep.
Who then transferred to Florida State, and then Cam Calhoun, who's played for like 50 different schools.
Okay.
Cam Calhoun has played for Michigan, Alabama, Utah, and now Ohio State. When I say he's going to play for Ohio State, probably won't play, really. But of their transfer on defense, Cam Calhoun's the one I don't think is going to play like much at all. Dom Kelly's been a nice surprise here. All right. What town is Tavian St. Clair from? Oh, come on.
I don't have it.
You got this one, don't you?
Nobody outside Ohio would pronounce it correctly. Most people in Ohio wouldn't pronounce it correctly. It's one of those funny ones like Rushi. Looks like Russia. This one is Bell
Fountain.
Bell Fountain. There you
Dang
go.
It.
Bell Fountain. The metropolis of Bell Fountain.
Yeah,
there you go.
I deserve it.
There you go.
I deserve it.
There you go. A few more here.
So when you get the roster, you say you're studying this thing up and down. See, for me, gosh, and I should know more, but I just, till fall, it's like one of the last things on my mind.
We love doing this. But your full-time job is promotions director. My full-time job is...
So it makes sense. You got to know
the freaking
that roster up and down.
Yes, and I want to pass the Jim Tressel test. He used to have his guys, they had to know the numbers of all their teammates and everything. He had to memorize their hometown and what high school they went to.
Wow.
I love it. So
the entire team. So the entire team would have to know.
No, the high school of all of their teammates. Hometown, the high school. I loved the stupid stuff. That wasn't stupid. Like stuff like that Tressel did, I loved.
Yeah.
Everything they do with the band now, he started all of that. They used to not sing Carmen, Ohio. Just a couple more, and then we got to take a break here. What is Bo Jackson's real name?
Lamar.
Yep, Lamar Jackson Jr. All right. Jermaine Matthews and Cam Calhoun were high school teammates at what Ohio high school? It's in the city that has the Cincinnati Reds. Also,
is it Moeller?
No. It wasn't. No. I don't know if this will help you or not. Mylan Williams also went to this school.
No, that doesn't help me.
WW. Cincinnati WW.
Walter White.
Winton Woods. Oh. Winton Woods.
By the way, when we talked to Bo Jackson yesterday, Tito did ask him about, how many times you've been like, people have confused you with, okay, is Bo Jackson or the other Bo Jackson coming to this event?
Right.
And that was a great question because he said it happens all the time.
Probably the guy that plays for Ohio State right now.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you one more here. Is anyone named Braxton on the team this year?
I'm going to go with yes.
Yes! Braxton Miller is returning for his 6th year. No, it's true freshman linebacker / defensive end Braxton Rembert. Guess what state he's from?
I'm going to go with Georgia.
Yes!
The odds.
Going out on top, baby.
I know you wouldn't do Ohio, so made sense to go with the 20 players from Georgia.
And I'm guessing he's named after Braxton Miller. I don't know if the math adds up there. All right. Up next, we're going to do a little this or that. This is On the Money.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip, and I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. If you can't find something to bet on, you're not trying hard enough. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Welcome back to the show. We appreciate you guys riding along with us here on the Money 97.1 The Fan. And right about now, it's time for This or That. Hit it, Isaiah. All right, so WrestleMania was last night. I think,
we know.
Part 1, right? And a lot of my friends like it. When I was a kid, I liked it. Like, I remember I went through a stage, like, as a kid, like, when, it was, like, Rowdy Roddy Piper and, you guys like that, and obviously Hulk Hogan and all that. I liked it. I haven't liked it since. Are you guys getting with fake wrestling, fake pro wrestling, the WWE, or are you not getting with it?
This is such a great question. I am.
Do you want to tell them why it's such a great question?
It is a great question. Yeah, and you know what? Let's out this guy. All right, Ryan Baker.
I was joking.
All right, Ryan Baker committed to come help his good buddies in our trivia contest last night. All of a sudden, at the last minute, I'm not coming. I'm going to watch wrestling instead.
And you tried to recruit me to join you, but I couldn't because I had to work.
Yes, absolutely. And you had a great excuse because you had the spring game. You had a lot going on. His excuse, despite the fact that we've been talking about this for a week, was, Oh, I don't want to join you guys for the trivia. I want to watch wrestling. What are you talking about, Ryan Baker? That's trash. Oh, wrong segment.
That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Ryan, you were garbage last night.
No, he's a man. He's in his 50s and just got fired. Yeah, I'm not. So I'm guessing you're saying you're not into it?
No,
I'm not into it. Isaiah?
I'm not into it either. I would rather go to the trivia than do the wrestling.
Great question. One of the best questions in this or that history. So obviously watching Chris Henry Jr. yesterday was a lot of fun. That was one of the things that I was most excited about for the spring game was obviously Tavian St. Clair, seeing him and seeing Chris Henry Jr. And a couple of those moments, those were jump off the couch, like, oh yeah, look at that arm, and oh man, Chris Henry Jr. So I want to talk about his potential for the freshman year, and I wanted to set an over/under on how many receptions we think he'll have this year, and so I wanted to compare it a little bit back to Jeremiah Smith because same kind of hype. Now, totally different. Jeremiah Smith, out of this world. Obviously, we think Chris Henry Jr. is going to be out of this world too. But his freshman year, Jeremiah Smith had 76 catches. His freshman year, 76 catches for 1,300 yards. I'm going to set the number at Chris Henry over under 65 catches this year, which is a crazy amount of catches. You taking over or under?
I'd go under, and I would bet the house on it.
Ooh.
Here's
so
the
I
thing.
went way too high.
Way too high.
Okay.
Here's the thing. And I was told this a few months ago. They really like Chris Henry, but they said, look at Carnell Tate's stats his freshman year. He had a lot of hype. He wasn't ranked quite as high as Chris Henry Jr. is ranked as the number 1 or number 2 wide receiver in the country, depending on your recruiting service you're looking at. But Carnell Tate was a top 5 receiver, had a ton of buzz as a true freshman. But he had so many guys ahead of him, like Marvin and Emeka. Carnell Tate had 18 receptions as a true freshman. Marvin Harrison Jr. had around that many as a true freshman until he finally got his chance in the Rose Bowl and had 3 touchdowns and just had a big game in the Rose Bowl. Why did he finally get a chance? Because Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson sat out the game to get ready for the draft. The point is, other than J.J. Smith, it's tough sledding to even reach 30 receptions as a true freshman. Even these guys that end up being an absolute studs. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a little different because that was the COVID year. I do think they played a full season. He would have played more, but still wouldn't have played a ton because they still had Garrett Wilson and all those guys on the team, Chris Olave. I would say definitely under.
Okay. If I had put that number at 50,
under
40,
I'd go under.
Wow, under 40.
Keep in mind when Carnell Tate had 18, though. Does that make it so crazy now? No, I think he's going to go, I'd go over 30. I don't think I'd go, I'd probably put it at 34 and a half. Look at, other than JJ, just look at it. Look at the recent history.
All right.
Emeka's another one. He's the all-time leading receiver at Ohio State. He didn't play that much as a true freshman.
I'm going to adjust the number to 45, but I'm taking over. I'm taking over 45. I look at Jeremiah Smith, that's 76 his freshman year. Now, that included 4 playoff games. Hopefully, Chris Henry Jr. has 3 playoff games. But I think I'm going to say over 45.
45 makes it tougher. Looking at the stats from last season, Jeremiah had 87 catches. Carnell Tate had 51. So I feel like it's going to be under. I think it's going to be under 45 because I look at Brandon Ennis' numbers from last year. He had 36 catches. I'm expecting probably in that range, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe like 40. I think probably right around 40 is what I would say. Last year, Ennis had 36. Yeah. I think I could see this season, I could see Chris Henry Jr. having right around 40.
I think.
Gotcha.
Drink. You did get, mimosa. Because JJ's going to get, if he stays healthy, he's going to get even more targets, we think. Brandon Ennis is going to get a lot more. And because Brandon Ennis was really the number 4 receiver last year, because Max Clare was basically the slot receiver. All right, guys, I mentioned this a little bit before we move on. Emeka Egbuka, you want to guess how many receptions he had in 2001 as a true freshman?
15.
Half as many as Carnell did.
9.
As a true freshman. 9.
Wow.
9 catches as a true freshman.
All right.
These guys end up being absolute studs. I mean, Emeka Egbuka had a great rookie year, all-time leading receiver at Ohio State, 9 catches as a true freshman. Temper your expectations for Chris Henry because also Devin McEwen's going to get his playing time. Kyle Parker's going to be out there. Brock Boyd's not going to redshirt. So I feel like this is not. I love Chris Henry Jr. I think he's going to be a stud here. My point is, I think we got to temper the expectations for his true freshman year, and maybe I'm completely wrong. We'll find out. Go ahead, Isaiah.
All right, I'm similar vein here from you, Scotty, going off spring game yesterday. Also going to throw out an over-under because my phone was blowing up yesterday afternoon. Wasn't blowing up about Julian Sayin, not even Chris Henry Jr. Who was it? Tavian St. Clair. I'm getting the text. So I want to set the over-under line this season at 2.5 games. When do people start calling for Tavian St. Clair? Not everyone, but you're going to start hearing murmurs. Should Tavian be playing over Julian? The line is 2.5 games. Does it happen before that or after when people want a Tavian package, they want him in there?
Is never an option because it's not going to happen with anybody who actually knows what they're talking about. Like Julian's not. I mean, it would take Julian like laying in a complete egg against Texas. Then I could see it, but I don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't think any like diehard Buckeye fan that knows their stuff is going to be saying that. So I'll go never.
Yeah, that's hard. I get it though, because I get the question, because there are going to be some crazy Buckeye fans that as soon as Julian Sayin has an interception or something doesn't go right, there will be people that talk about it, right? So I completely understand the question. However, I don't think it will be any legit conversations that he should get in there.
I hope this does not happen. If the Buckeyes somehow lose to Texas, I will put it out there that when I do the call-in show on Sunday morning afterwards, there will be a call that will say, should Tavian St. Clair play?
He's right.
I hope the Buckeyes win against Texas, but if we did lose that game, then we'll be in here that morning and we'll see. And I would disagree with them.
When you right, I hear you. And when you add that caveat, yeah, if they lose to Texas, unless Julian just is like, well, Julian played great, but they slot. If it's anything less than that, if he plays even like good but doesn't play great and they lose to Texas, yeah, there'll be somebody that says that.
So actually,
it would take that.
Then you're changing your answer because he said 2.5 weeks.
I would still say never.
But Dave thinks we're going to beat Texas, so they won't.
All right. Well, all right. So that makes sense.
And I think Julian's going to play well in that game. We'll see. I have high expectations. I mean, I thought he played. I know how the last 2 games went. I thought he had a heck of a redshirt freshman season, and now with 14 starts under his belt, I think he's just going to go off this year. And having Arthur Smith as offensive coordinator, not Brian Hartline, is huge. All right, debated what my last one was going to be. I'll go with this one. Are you guys getting with Dexter Lawrence? The trade was good for both teams. Good for the Bengals, bad for the Giants. Good for the Giants, bad for the Bengals.
Ooh, I'm going to go with good for both. I think ultimately it's going to be a great move for the Bengals, especially short term, right? I still believe that a huge factor has to be pleasing Joe Burrow and improving immediately is a huge step. So I think it's a great move for the Bengals. And then for the Giants, they have a strong defensive line. They have other holes. I like it, getting 2 top 10 picks. Good for both.
It seems like both fan bases are happy if you get on like The Athletic and read the story. You have Giants fans and Bengals fans chiming in. Giants fans are like, oh, this is a steal for us. And Bengals fans are like, we love this. I do. We'll see. We'll see. I think it will turn out to be a good deal for both teams. What do you think, Isaiah?
This isn't good because it's a clean sweep. I also think it's good for both teams. I think where the Bengals were sitting, I think as the draft process went on, they realized there wasn't going to be an elite defensive player left sitting there at the 10 spot. I don't think they loved Ruben Bain or Messidor, so I think at that spot they were like, it might be better to get as a guaranteed good defensive player. And then on the Giants end, they already had the 5th overall pick, and I think they're going defense there. And so they move on from Dexter Lawrence. They know they're getting a piece on the defensive side of 5, and then they can attack somewhere on the offense, I think is what they're going to do at the 10 spot. I think it works for both. That one.
All right, guys. So at the trivia event last night, which, by the way, you talk about food at this thing. They bring out these little pigs in a blanket as the appetizers. They walk around with a ton of different appetizer options. Then you get there, and at your table, there's like this buffalo chicken dip with chips and vegetables and all that.
There's fake wrestling on the TV and everything.
then they follow that up with a huge pizza, and then all of a sudden at your table, when you're not even paying a lot of attention, a big old tray of donuts arrives. And my 9-year-old son apparently had like 4 or 5 of them. I know
without Scotty noticing, some father.
I didn't notice one bit. I'm like, focusing elsewhere, and all of a sudden I'm looking, and Isaiah's like, he's on his 4th donut right now. So my question, I'm not a huge, I have not had a donut in a very long time until last night. Last night I definitely got in on the donuts. Are you guys, you prefer a glazed donut or a powdered donut, but no gooey center? Or are you in on you want your donut to have a little goo in the middle?
I'm getting with goo.
Getting with goo. I still, and I had the goo last night, I still am more about the glazed. Like, I just prefer just a plain
the
glazed,
goo or the glazed donut. This feels like something from Balco, the cream and the clear. Barry Bonds was busted for the goo and the glaze.
And by the way, Isaiah, you're on donut number 4 this morning?
I've had 4 donuts this morning. Yes, I did. We had some leftovers that I brought in for everyone. I don't know if anybody's had any but me, but I've had 4 donuts so far, and my go-to donut is a jelly-filled donut. I love jelly-filled donuts. That would be, for me, I guess I'm also going with the goo. All right, last one for me, fellas. I also was out there last night with Scotty, and unfortunately, we did not come in first place. So, Dave, this is mainly for you. Let me give you this or that.
Ooh.
Would you rather have a free bourbon tasting or free box seats to a Guardians game?
Can you make it a Reds game?
I absolutely cannot.
Okay.
No, we can't trade what the prizes were.
Free bourbon tasting or box seats to a Guardians game, but they're hosting the Reds? Give me the Guardians. Did I cheat there?
Scotty?
So I was pleasantly surprised that I thought the second place prize was better than the first place prize.
So the first place prize was Guardians, second place was bourbon?
Correct. Yeah. So we are going to enjoy a nice high end, and you should come. You should come to the bourbon event with us because you were going to be a part of the trivia night if you weren't working. Ryan should definitely not be invited. So there we go. Dave is in. Ryan is out.
If Ryan's listening to the show, he's like, I thought these guys were my friends. We're having fun. We have fun with our friends.
But I'm taking the bourbon.
I am 100% taking the Guardians game. I was crushed when I heard that was the final, because me and my fiance had been wanting to get to a game here in the next month or so, and we were planning a trip to go. We were trying to kind of line it up with the Cavs playoffs to do a little 2-for-1 action, and so then I hear the number 1 team get to Guardians box seats, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the Guardians. So I was pretty bummed when we ended up with the bourbon tasting, but I'll still enjoy the bourbon tasting. But I do love me some Gardos.
You're going to have to twist my arm really hard to get me to join you guys. Thank you for the invite.
You're in.
That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, up next is Best Bets. This is On the Money.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment means you could miss everything happening around you. Don't let those few seconds take your attention away from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
It worked once, so we're doing it again. Sign up now for the Fan 5K, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. We're back at Otterbein on Saturday, June 20th. Walk a mile with the Common Man, jog a 5K with T-Bone, or try to beat Tyvis in a 40-yard dash. Tyvis won't stretch, so there's a chance he pulls something. The fun starts at 8 a.m. Saturday, June 20th. Register today and earn a sweet medal, race T-shirt, and a photo op at the finish line. Sign up at 971therace.com. Prepare your tightest running clothes, and we'll see you at the Fan 5K on June 20th.
Aaron,
I've invented something really important.
Great. Tell me what it is.
You know how water heaters never give the homeowner any sort of signal that they are about to quit working?
Jerry, did you invent a way to solve that problem?
I sure did. I call it the Eco First Responder System.
I like it. How does it work?
Well, when your hot water heater quits working and you have no hot water, just call Eco before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
Jerry, that's been our policy for a long time. What exactly did you invent?
I invented the name, Aaron. The name. The Eco First Responder System. I thought you said you liked it.
Sure, Jerry. It's a great name for a really strong guarantee.
When your water heater quits working, just call Eco before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
You're a great guy, Jerry. I'm really glad you work here.
Get Eco.
ECO. GetEco.com.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
Educators, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. The Columbus Aviators salute you with $10 tickets to any home game. Get yours at UFLaviators.com.
Mornings on the Fan have never been larger. T-Bone is large. Tybus is getting large. Get large with them. T-Bone and Tybus.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
Your home for large people and larger personalities. The Fan.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. And now back to a show featuring two dudes who've been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
And it is best bets time as we get to the end of our show here on the Money. But our friends are coming up shortly. Cole Bartimus and Jacob Reimer. I was just talking OSU hoops with Reimer. We're both really happy with OSU and what they're doing in the transfer portal so far for Ohio State hoops. All right, so yesterday we have the spring game. And so I want to update the betting odds on winning the national championship in college football. So Ohio State currently still tied with Notre Dame at plus 650 to win it all. And this is amazing how bunched it is. You got Indiana 7-1, Oregon 7-1, Texas 7-1 to win it all. And then you find Georgia and LSU at 10-1. So it's amazing how bunched up it is at this point in the spring for this coming season. Now, best bets time. Dave, you actually convinced me earlier in this show to invest a little money in this. And maybe this is one of your best bets today, too. But I'm sorry, I might be stealing it in front of you here. But Julian Sayin at 13-1 for the Heisman Trophy.
I love it.
When you brought that up and you started making the case, and I started thinking about, well, this is a guy who was in New York last year in his first year as a starter. I do love the value, and he's got the schedule to do it, too, as far as a lot of marquee opportunities that if Ohio State goes 10-2 or 11-1 this year, maybe wins the Big Ten championship game, I think there's a great chance that Sayin is the Heisman winner. So at 13-1, I am going to do that. I will tell you another best bet in the golf world. Now, I'm a little bit scarred because last week I told everybody that I had a parlay of Michigan to win the basketball championship and Cam Young to win the Masters. It was a $25 bet to win $5,000. And Cam Young had a 2-shot lead on Sunday. And it looked like, okay, this is going to come through for me. And then it ended up not happening, and Rory wins the Masters. However, I'm back at it today with golf betting. And just a couple shots back is Scotty Scheffler. And he's a couple shots back of Matt Fitzpatrick. And it's at the RBC Heritage. I like Scotty Scheffler a few shots back as the chaser at 2-1 today. Getting plus money 2-1 on Scotty Scheffler. I think he gets it done and wins. So that's my best bet in golf.
I always tell you, I had a bet on Scheffler. It looked like I had no chance for the Masters, and then all of a sudden it was like, ooh, this is turning interesting. I did have a bet on John Rahm. That turned sour early. I might tell you on that. And I think it's just majors that Scotty. The only time he's won majors is when he leads going into Sunday. I think that's just majors, not tournaments in general.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think I might tell you on that. And, yeah, I like Julian Sayin 13-1 to win the Heisman. If they go and take care of business against Texas week 2, I mean, that's going to shoot down to, assuming Julian's playing well, probably in half maybe. That'd be 7-1 or 6-1 before we know. So I like 13-1 there. Another one that I like, Sal Stewart to win NL Rookie of the Year. Not getting the value you got last week at this time, but I still like it. Plus 160. He is the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year. You're like, what about Connor Griffin for the Pirates? He's going to be a stud, but he's only 19, plus 750 for Connor Griffin. But I mean, Sal Stewart is just setting the world on fire at the age of 22 from my Reds batting cleanup between Ellie De La Cruz and Eugenio Suarez. So those are my best bets for the day. And that is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it very much. For Scotty Vegas and Isaiah Jacob, I am Dave Biddle, but don't go anywhere. As Scotty said, up next is Fan Sports Sunday with our friends Cole Bartimus and Jacob Reimer. This has been On the Money.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.